Hello and welcome to a Warframe video. In this video I'm going to be making a video just to remind people about one of our best tanks in the game, and that is Inaros, our mummy Warframe. Uh, not as in we came from him, mummy as in, you know, dead, bandaged and left there for decades before, coming back to life. Yeah. Inaros is hands down one of our best tanks. He is he has one of the highest survivabilities thanks to his health. He can be he's a quest warframe. He can be acquired by purchasing the sands of Inaros, I believe. I think they're called. I don't remember. But yeah, I think they're called sands of something. Sands of Inaros. I think they're Sands of Inaros. It's a quest that you can purchase from Barracketeer anytime he comes into the relay. You can go talk to him. He's the Void Trader. You can actually you can get the quest from him. It doesn't really cost that much, and yeah, you can actually do it, and you get the Inaros parts once you've completed it. Although I do recommend, if you're going to do that mission, if you're going to do the missions, I do recommend bringing a Valkyr for the end mission, because it makes life a lot easier, just to be safe. And yeah, once you got your hands on him, you mod him, you put an Orc and Reactor on him, you polarize him as many times as you can, and yeah, you use him. So the way he works is, first things first, when you start a game, what you want to do is you want to hold the 4th power. You want to hold down on his 4th power in order to build up Scarab armor. And yes, that will drain his health, but that's really not a big deal for Inaros, trust me. So what you're going to be doing, you're going to be draining your health, and this doesn't cost any energy whatsoever. It'll simply drain your health, and you will be acquiring Scarab armor. And yeah, once it goes to 100%, that's pretty much you with 100%. I think it's 100% extra armor. Well, it's called Scarab armor, but it gives you protection, I believe. Or did they change that? I don't remember. I'm hoping that it's the same. I think I am noticing that when I have Scarab armor, I'm taking less damage than I normally would have. So yeah, I'm gonna go with it does give you. I mean, it's called Scarab armor. It has to give you armor, right? It stands to logic. So yeah, you get that, increase your survivability even further, and yeah, if you want to recover your health once you've cut it in half from Scarab armor, all you have to do is use your 1st power on an enemy that is facing you, and go close to him and melee him, and he will instantly die. He will be stunned by your sand, like I'm showing right now, and yeah, he will die, and you will gain health. You pretty much gain, like, what, 10% of your health every time you kill an enemy like that. So you can regenerate your energy, like, I don't know, like very fast. Like you can regenerate your energy almost, well, not your energy, your health, like super fast. So here's a little bit. Here's a nice little cycle. You let enemies. You equip as much health and armor as you possibly can on him. And yeah, any health mods, any armor mods you can, you equip those on him, and you also equip either Rage or Hunter's Adrenaline, or both of them if you want to stack them. And what this will do is every time enemies will shoot you, they will give you energy. A percentage of their damage is given to you as energy. That's what Rage and Hunter Adrenaline does. Hunter's Adrenaline is dropped by, I believe it's dropped by the ghouls, or sometimes on alerts. I think it's mostly common on ghouls and when the Plague Star alert actually happened. A lot of people have that mod, so it's not really a big deal. It's very common by the community. And then there's of course Rage, which it drops from the Napalm, the Grenier Napalm. I normally go to Titan on Saturn in order to farm it. Because you just stay there for as long as possible, kill every napalm that it comes, and yeah, get the mod. It's a rare mod, it's a golden mod, and it's actually very good. It's actually a very nice mod to actually have, because these mods, every time you take damage to your health, not your shield, your health, they will give you a percentage of that damage they'll give you a percentage of that damage as energy. And with Inaros, you can see a cycle over here. They damage your health, they give you energy, You use your first power on them, stun them, then use your melee to finish them off and gain health. So you're basically you're basically gaining energy and health all at the same time, and it's an infinite cycle. And yeah, you can just go crazy with your powers. Now, Inarus doesn't really have that many powers that are good for killing, except for, of course, his first power, which will, it'll rely on you actually using your melee to actually kill enemies. The way I'm using a dagger, the Rakta dagger, with the covert lethality mod, which will instantly kill any enemy regardless of level, as long as he is stunned. So yeah, that's how I'm going around killing. So you can imagine, I can just aim at a very if there's like an enemy who's giving me a hard time, that it's hard to kill, I can just stun him and just insta kill him immediately with my covert lethality dagger. So that works. And yeah, so in this mission, we're basically trying to get our hands on some relics, on some unvaulted relics, specifically Nyx Prime and Rhino Prime. It's the time where they were unvaulted, if you are seeing this in the future. So yeah, we were actually trying to get some relics, and right now we're doing a Mott survival, survival on Mott, which is I think one of the highest level survivals in the Void. So yeah, it starts off pretty powerful. Enemies can be very deadly when they shoot at you. You can actually see them doing some very decent damage on my health, even though like I'm regaining it and everything, and I have so many resistances. They're still dealing a ton of damage. So yeah, you can imagine if you're like a regular Warframe that doesn't have as much armor or as much health, you go down almost instantly. So yeah, you would definitely want to bring like tanky Warframes in this particular, like Valkyr, like I would say Rhino, but ever since his Iron Skin got nerfed, he pretty much melts on high leveled enemies who are over like level 40 to 50. They will essentially melt his armor instantly, no matter how much power strength you give him, so he's not really that much worth it. So I would go with Valkyr. I would go with a good Hysteria build for Valkyr, or I don't know, or with as much high health as possible, I guess. I would go with Nidus too, even though that it'll take time for his infected stacks to stack them up, in order so that if your health does become 0, you don't die. And that actually takes some doing. So yeah, until you do that, you're pretty much vulnerable. But he's very good for dealing damage too, because his damage will also increase. So that also works. So Inarus is also a very good choice. I guess if you want to go, obviously those are for tank Warframes. If you want to go for like just utility Warframes, obviously you can go with either Loki, Ash, or Ivara, just to become invisible over and over again and just kill them without them even knowing you are ever there. All you have to do is just watch out for any AoE powers. So that actually works. And yeah, I mean, there are some decent Warframes that can survive against high level enemies. You just need to get your hands on them. But the way I see it, when it comes to tanking Warframes, when it comes to really not caring and just killing and not giving a shit, pretty much. Yeah, I would go for Inarus, because it almost feels like this is too easy. I'm hoping that stays like that forever, because it's amazing. It's an amazing system, and it actually makes him one of the best tanks in the game right now. In fact, he might be the best tank in the game right now. So yeah, I do recommend him. I'm currently running him with the Umbral modes as an experimental. I didn't polarize them or anything. I just had them in there. I was missing like one mod because I didn't have the slot capacity due to the Umbral mods, taking a lot of capacity and cannot be, you cannot polarize them. You can polarize everything else, but even if I were to polarize at maximum, I wouldn't have enough mods to add anything special. So I left it the way it is, and it worked out pretty nicely. It still gave me a lot more damage and a lot more. A lot more power strength, a lot more armor, and a lot more health than normally I would have with any other mod that I equipped. So it kind of helped out. So yeah, this is a video that I wanted to make on Inarus. He is one of our best tanks. Right now, I'm also using the Amprex for some crowd controlling and dealing damage. Amprex is my primary damage dealer. It is modded for corrosive, and yeah, I'm not going to show any builds currently because, I mean, this Warframe is just so common. There is no way that you would not, have him or have a build for him. But if you want to see a build, just let me know and I'll add it at the next video. So, yeah, currently, like I said, I'm using Inaros as my Warframe. I'm using the Umbral mods in order to, enhance that as much as I can. I am also using the Amprex for that crowd controlling, just to kill multiple enemies at the same time. Basically, that's what I wanted to say. It does a very good job. So I mean, you can pretty much just see that it does a very good job at killing enemies, even though they're quite decently high leveled. And of course, a dagger. Now, the secondary weapon can be anything. You can have any weapon on that's of your preference. Yeah. I would have as a secondary. Yeah, any weapon is like to your preference. Is like my brain just farted. What the hell? Any secondary can be fine. And of course, your melee has to be a dagger with the covert lethality mod to insta kill any enemy that you stun. And don't forget that your sand, in other words, your first power, your desiccation, will only work on enemies who are looking at you. You just throw sand in their face. Obviously, if they're face backwards, you don't really do that. So you have to throw sand in their faces. So that's how you stun them. And yeah, yeah, that's pretty much how I go about modding how I go about using my Inaros. And I used him on mod, and it was at least, I mean, people were folding back and forth, but when it comes to survival, I could have actually definitely stayed for a longer period. And I did a very decent amount of damage thanks to Amprex, even though I wasn't really a damage dealer. I was a tank. Inaros doesn't really have that many offensive powers, so being able to deal as much damage as I did is basically a credit to the Amprex itself. And the fact that I can insta-kill any enemy with the covert lethality dagger. And yeah, I really like this build for either running solos or just surviving. Yeah, just basically that, just surviving. So yeah, this is my video on Inaros. I'm not gonna, like I said, he is just so common. People already have him. They just need to grab their hands on him and mod him to see how good he is. The Amprex is also very very famous, as well as the mod for covert lethality on a dagger. These combos have been talked about and have been shown so many times that I feel like it's not necessary for me to show them. But yeah, if you actually want me to show them, just let me know, and I'll make a video just to show you what they are. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. I had fun playing this game. It was actually pretty fun. And yeah, I actually didn't go down, not even once, which is, like I said, a credit to Inaros being one of the best tanks in the game right now. So yeah, thank you for watching. Stay cool, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.